There are only two ways to swim faster. Number one, you can decrease drag. And number two, increase propulsion. When we talk about increasing propulsion, this means swimming more power per stroke. It means pulling more water with every stroke that you take, the early vertical forearm, EVF. These are things that I talk about a lot here on the channel. That's actually much more difficult to apply in the day-to-day, and it takes a lot longer to see results by increasing propulsion. The other way that you can swim faster is by decreasing drag, and this is an area that you can see immediate results and improvement. So my goal is that for you, by the end of the video, you will have learned some of the skills to apply the next time you go swimming. I'm also going to talk about 5 different ways to decrease drag, the solutions for each of those different challenges, and then I'm going to share with you a drag reduction workout with different skills and drills incorporated throughout that you can apply the next time you go to the pool. Now, what I want to do first, I actually want to talk about the equation of how drag is actually created in the water. That's hydrodynamic. That means within the water. This is the same concept that applies for boats and different vessels, and you want to think of your body as a vessel moving through the water. Now, there's only 4 variables in this equation, but when you see the relationship between them and how we apply them in swimming, I guarantee you're gonna learn something. I'm gonna try and keep this as basic as possible, so if it doesn't make any sense or you wanna rewatch, feel free to pause and rewind 10 seconds, no problem. So hydrodynamic drag is equal to C of X multiplied by the parenthesis of our P, which is density of the medium, which is water. I'll define all the variables, multiplied by velocity squared divided by 2, that's all in parentheses, multiplied by our S variable, which is the characteristic area of the body. That's the surface area of your body. Now, it seems really fancy to have all these numbers in the equation broken out like this, but really what it comes down to is what happens at the end. So hold this thought, but our C of X is defined as the dimensionless coefficient of drag. Ooh, sounds fancy, which is really just the shape of your body. So if you notice, our drag is equally proportional to this dimensionless coefficient. What that really means is if your body is not in streamline, you're going to increase the amount of drag that you have. The underlying principle of all of this is the fact that water is 800 times more dense than air. So if your body is not in streamline, you're just going to create more drag. So the shape of your body is really, really important because that's what determines ultimately how much drag you're going to create. Now, the other variable here is our P factor, and that's the density of the medium. That's basically water. So in our use case, we're talking about water, and that density is 800 times more resistive than air. The V represents velocity. Now, what's really important to take away from this equation is that velocity is squared. It's to the power of 2, which means if you increase your velocity by an order of magnitude, you're actually going to increase your drag by a multiple of that exponentially because you are multiplying it by itself. So here's a basic example of that. If you 2x your velocity, you're really 4xing your drag. So if you swim twice as fast, you're actually creating 4 times as much drag. Isn't that incredible? So the faster you go, the more drag you're actually going to create. This is why it's so much more difficult to go from 30 seconds in the 50 freestyle to 25 seconds in the 50 freestyle compared to going from 60 seconds in the 50 freestyle to 55 seconds. Yes, you've dropped 5 seconds in both those scenarios, but because the body is moving literally twice as fast through the water, they have to combat 4 times as much drag. Add into that the fact that water is 800 times more dense than air, and you can start to see why swimming is such a technical sport, because any little adjustment you make to the shape of your body or the surface area of your body can dramatically change the amount of drag that you have in the water. So the most important thing to take away from this, besides the fact that water is 800 times more dense than air, is the fact that velocity has a square to it. So if you 2x velocity, you're gonna 4x your drag. Now that's great and all, but what does that have to do with decreasing drag? So now that you understand the formula and the functions and all the inputs, let's talk about 5 different ways that you can actually decrease drag. The first is you reduce the area. That's our C of X in the formula. There's a few different ways that you can reduce the amount of area, the surface area that your body has in the water. Now, one of those is just wearing a swim cap. So if you think about all the hair on your body, it's creating a lot of drag because that surface area is not smooth. And that's also the shape as well. So by simply wearing a swim cap, the type of swimsuit that you wear is also an important consideration. So if you're wearing a really baggy swimsuit, it feels like you're wearing a parachute in the water, and that right there can make you significantly faster by reducing the drag just by wearing a swim cap that bundles up your hair and wearing a swimsuit that is more form-fitting to your body. Now, of course, you don't want to wear something super, super tight. You know, of course, be comfortable with what you wear, but there's a big difference between wearing baggy trunks and clothing versus an actual swimsuit that's designed to be a little bit more fitting to your body so that you can actually reduce your drag. Additionally, another way that you can reduce that resistance is by shaving. And if you want to get the smoothest shave, you've got to check out Henson Shaving, and they're today's video sponsor. If you've ever shaved down for a swim meet, you know it can take forever and leave you with razor burn and cuts all over your body. Now, most traditional razor cartridges bend or flex, and this is what causes that irritation on your skin. So Henson's razors are specifically designed to hold the blade firmly in place at the optimal shaving angle, which gives you a smooth and perfect shave every time. These razors are made from aerospace-grade aluminum, which will last a lifetime. All you have to do is replace the blades, which are 100% recyclable, and they only cost about 10 cents each. I've had the chance to test out the AL13 for a few shaves, and I can definitely see and feel the difference. Whether you need to do a full body shave for a swim meet, or you just want to try something new for a regular shaving routine, I recommend giving Henson a try. Their razors are great for both men and women. Now, if you want to get 100 blades for free with your purchase, make sure you head down to hensonshaving.com/MySwimPro. It'll be linked down below. Thanks again to Henson Shaving for keeping my skin smooth and sponsoring this video. Another way that you can decrease drag is by improving your head position. Now we're starting to get into really the technicals of the stroke. So if you drop your head position, a lot of swimmers swim looking right at the other end of the pool. Believe me, the wall's not going anywhere. You need to tilt your head down. You should feel as though you're looking straight down. Now I know a lot of people think that if you look all the way down and you bury your head, you're actually going to swim slower. And I would agree with you. The reality is most swimmers swim looking with their face completely up. So if you had to pick either your face completely up or your eyes looking at that beautiful blue or black line at the bottom of the pool, you know I'm going to side with just look at that line, look down, your eyes are looking forward just a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you are able to drop your head position, and this applies to all the strokes, backstroke of course is eyes back, head back, you will improve your body position, and that's what's going to reduce drag because you're decreasing the amount of resistance and surface area your body is creating as it moves through the water. So you improve your head position, and you can then improve your body position. You want to feel like you're swimming downhill. That means you're creating the least amount of drag as you swim through the water. Another way to do that is by not kicking. Now, I know this is really counterintuitive. If we decrease, not increase propulsion, but decrease propulsion, doesn't that mean we're going to go slower? Well, yes, you might actually decrease the amount of propulsion, but that propulsion was consuming energy and it was creating additional drag because you see, when you start to kick and your legs actually leave that perfect streamlined position, you're now creating a lot of drag. So if the drag that you're creating is not compensated by increased propulsion, which for most swimmers it's actually not unless you're going maximum speed, you're basically just spending a lot of energy kicking and you're increasing the amount of drag that you have. So if you want to decrease drag, you can just stop kicking. And we're going to talk about that, how you incorporate it into a set in just a little bit. And then finally, you can just swim faster. Now I know this is really counterintuitive because you just told me if you 2x your velocity, you're going to 4x your drag. That is correct. But the reason why you want to train your body to swim faster is not for the sake of actually increasing your drag, that will happen, but you're teaching your body how to swim higher in the water. I mean, think about a speedboat. When a speedboat or a jet ski is going really slow through the water, the entire jet ski, or half of it, is underwater. When a jet ski or a speedboat is going really, really fast, or a sailboat, the boat is actually going to ride on top of the water, and only a small part of it will actually be in the water at all. And you want to train your body to behave in a similar manner, because then your stroke mechanics actually will adapt to what it feels like to be a little bit higher in the water. And so even though you will have an increase in resistance of 4x if you 2x your speed, realistically you're not going to 2x your speed, but you will swim faster, you will increase drag, but more of your body will be out of the water, and you'll be much more efficient in the propulsion components of the stroke. And so that's how it's a little bit counterintuitive, but by swimming faster, yes, you decrease drag, but you swim higher in the water and you have better stroke mechanics, and that's what you want to train your body to do. Now let's talk about this drag reduction workout. I love the name. Now I'm going to be referencing the MySwimPro app in this. I have the workout right here on my iPhone. If you haven't checked out the MySwimPro app, it's available for iPhone and Android. You can get workouts just like this and plenty of others, but let's go ahead and get right into it. We start out with our warm-up with a 1-300 freestyle, stretch it out nice and easy. Then we have 825s kick. These are going to be in streamline on your back. And what we're trying to do is really focus on narrowing our kick. And this is something you should think about all the time. I know I mentioned just stop kicking, but when you are kicking, you want to train to have a really small kick. Kick with your hips. Don't bend your knees a lot. Point your toes. And you want to maintain a relatively small amplitude of your legs. So that's what you're focusing on in these 825s kick. Then we're going to do a 200 pull where we're not going to kick at all. And if you notice here on the workout, you can see it's informing us to use paddles. So the MySwimPro app will actually tell you when to use different pieces of equipment at different points in the workout, and also what effort level based on the color-coded effort level. So each set has a different equipment use, interval, and all of that is personalized to you based on your swimming skill and goals and speed. Then we get into the main set, which is going to be 450s at a best average, that's the effort level, then 425s freestyle at race pace. This goes back to being able to train at a higher position in the water, and that allows you to train on how to swim faster. The main set is 2 rounds through, and we're going to finish with cool down with 425s freestyle silent swimming, where we really focus on not making any noise, because noise is equal to drag. So you want to make sure you're thinking about it and listening to the noise that your hands make when your fingers enter the water. Like I said, this workout and others is available in the MySwimPro app. Hopefully you took some of those skills and you can apply them the next time you go swimming, because if you found this video useful, you're gonna love the video I made on 5 breathing mistakes. So make sure you check that out. If breathing is something you struggle with, you're gonna love that video. I'll see you over there. Wish you the best and happy swimming.